house, man. You know me, how I'm rockin', man. I gotta keep my shit in order. Tryna cop that house, man. The one to sit up on the water. You know me, how I'm rockin', man. I gotta keep my shit in order. Tryna cop that house, man. The one to sit up on the water. You know how I'm rockin', man. I gotta keep my shit in order.
Yo, welcome back to another day of people. Can I please get y'all to hit that thumbs up button, bang on the bell for me, and subscribe to the channel. Now this right here don't make no sense. This kind of remind me of me and my little brother. I got two little brothers, and I'm the oldest. And trust me, I know how it go. I can feel they pain. The two brothers got to fighting, and the baby brother killed his older brother. Now, all these boys was doing was just helping their mother with the furniture, moving to her new home, and they got to arguing about which piece of furniture go where. The baby brother, he had his blick on him, and the older brother, he, just had pulled up to help. Now, the older brother, he's not in the street. The older brother that got killed, he worked a job every day. Everybody loved him, and I'm guessing his younger brother was pretty jealous of that. You know what I mean? His younger brother was more of a street dude carrying, guns and things like that. So when they got into it, his younger brother told him like, man, look, I don't use these, I use this. And when I heard this story, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, he really told his brother that? You know what I'm saying? They could have just duked it out. Now, I'm going to tell y'all like this, right? Because I got two brothers, and I'm the oldest. The older brother got to be the one to be the bigger person 90% of the time. If you the older brother and you hear this, if you got younger brothers, okay? If you feel that your younger brother is right or wrong, and y'all get to arguing, even if he got a gun, even if he don't have a gun, you gotta be the bigger brother that you are to understand the situation. And don't let it go far like that. If you say, for instance, put yourself in their shoes. What the older brother was supposed to do was understand not to take it that far, and just tell his younger brother, man, it ain't like that, bro. Like let's go take a walk or something. I'm gonna go take a walk. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go buy me a soda or something like that. You know what I mean? And then hopped on the phone now and called his mother and let him know, man, little bro tripping. I don't know if I should help because he got a gun on him. I'm already knowing he knew he had a gun on him. So soon as, look, if you the bigger brother and you got sense, soon as you know your younger brother got a gun, you see a gun or anything like that, don't let him get to pull it out. But I'm just saying, if you know that he have a gun, that means it's time to get away. Now, I know things happen real quick just like that, but at the same time, you gotta be smart when it comes to things like this. You gotta use your head. Because I be trying to tell y'all about people in general anyway all the time. I don't care if it's your brother, your sister, your daddy, your mama, your auntie, your uncle, cousin, anybody. Sometimes we don't want to do things, but our brains take control. It take control so much to the point where you can't control your brain. And I learned this from a doctor. Our brain changes every single day. And you gotta understand what I'm saying. You can't change. You can't hold back your brain if it's telling you to do something, no matter how hard you try. You can't do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You cannot do it sometimes. Most of the time, you can't do it. I need y'all to understand that. See, that's why people is like that today. Some of these people don't be wanting to do half of the things that they do, but they do it because they have no control over it. You see what I'm saying? Like me and my little brother, my little baby brother, we just got into it too. You know, he called himself cussing me out and things like that for the first time ever in this life. And my little baby brother, I'm 39, my baby brother 35. You know, for the first time in our lives, my little baby brother, this is my favorite little baby brother too. He started cussing me out, telling me we can box, come to Chicago. You know, man, he never used to talk like this. You know, and I had to realize, this is my baby brother, and my baby brother, he just started getting drunk every day. He started to get high every day. Ain't no telling, he might be doing other drugs that I don't know about. I ain't gonna throw him under the bus. I ain't gonna speak bad on him or nothing like that. But that goes to show me right there. That showed me as well. You gotta be the bigger brother. I could have easily went to Chicago and put these on them, or been out there trying to, arguing, fussing, fight, or whatever. Even on the phone, I could have been arguing, fussing, and fighting. I might have said a couple of things and then hung up and just didn't answer the phone no more, because I'm the bigger brother and I understand that my baby brother, he have to learn. He just gotta learn. He never been, through half of the stuff I've been through. So I understand that. And that's why I feel this story right here, because I can see the picture in my mind is so vivid. You know what I'm saying? Because just like Cain and Abel, right? It's already written. See, y'all gotta start reading that Bible too. The Bible is real. It's already written. This same thing, it goes on every day. You got your younger brother that will always be jealous. Sometimes you had an older brother jealous of the younger brother. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? You don't know if, sometimes you won't even know that your brother is jealous of you, hates you, envious of you, or none of that. You won't even know sometimes. So you gotta be smart enough to look, listen, and learn. Sit back, observe your people. Now, I'm gonna show y'all this video in a second, but there's one more thing I wanted to tell y'all. This guy shot his brother 16 times, and the judge asked him, well, what made you do that? This your brother. What made you shoot him? Blow him down and stand over him and keep on shooting him. The young man said, he don't know. He didn't say nothing. He couldn't say nothing. The only thing he did was start crying. And you can barely hear him speak when he was talking. You know what I mean? He said he blacked out. He didn't even know he was blacking out. And I'm going to keep this all the way real with y'all. I'm going to keep it all the way funky. I know 9 times out of 10, this boy had been listening to NBA Youngboy and all these rappers out here that encouraging these young people to do things like this. It ain't nothing but the devil. And he fell right into the devil's plan. It's serious than y'all think. It's way deeper than y'all may know. Y'all gotta start opening up them Bibles, start looking at sermons and learning, listening to these church people, these preachers, and, speaking to God and praying, and this ain't no game. Every single day, every single second of the day, it's a battle between God and the devil. Every day, right now, I got the devil on my back, but he know I ain't going. I'm finna pick up my Bible, I'm finna pray, I'm finna do all of that. You have to do this. It's a must. You gotta stay prayed up unless you don't believe, which I think you should. You should believe. Believe, okay? You got to believe and trust God, man. And I'm sorry if you don't, you just gonna fall into the devil's plan too. I'm sorry to say it like that. Now I'm gonna show y'all this video. It's a very sad video. I'm gonna show y'all the news scene. Then I'm gonna show y'all the day of the sentence. It was very sad, man. The young man, they let him turn around and speak to his mama. His mama was in court crying, and it was horrible. The daddy came up there. He didn't even get to see his son get sentenced. He thought that they had the tricked him out or something, played a game with him so he couldn't come in the courtroom, so he didn't get to see his son for the last time. They gave him 23 years. 23 years of his life, and he got to do all of that. I thought it was 33 years because I had watched this story like 2 days ago, and I meant to drop a video about it. I thought it was 33, but I believe it's 22. So by him being 20 right now, he not gonna get out till he about 45. That's a long time, but he did the right thing. He went head on and pled guilty because he know he was guilty. He know he did what he did. I kind of feel this young man too. I believe he a real cool dude. It's just that the devil had got inside of him. Them demons, they so real. He took his time like a man. He didn't wild out or nothing.
There's pain and a family torn apart as a man learns his punishment for killing his own brother, shooting him 16 times.
He was guilty. He knew what he had did, and he had told him, yeah, he did it. He didn't try to take it to trial. He played it smart. He took his time like a man. Now he locked up. He ain't got his brother. And you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all this. I want y'all to hear this before I leave. Everything happened for a reason. Now, God give us free will. He did that on his own. He gonna get to meet God, and this is when he's going to get to know God, the real God. God gonna show him and show him that he real, and this man, I believe, is gonna change his life. It's gonna change his life, but I'm talking about for the good. This gonna change, just like when this man get out of jail, he ain't gonna be nothing the same. Either he gonna be more devilish, or he gonna be not devilish pretty much at all. Like, he gonna have a whole different attitude. He probably start going to church or be some type of Muslim or something. Trust and believe me, you know what I mean? Things happen for a reason. Like, he did this, all of this right here. He did this to his brother. That ain't gonna never fade away. But he did it. It's done. Now, it seemed like everything that fell apart, which it really did, but it fell apart to stand back up and stand back up even taller. Now, he's going to have plenty of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and he's going to learn so much about life. You see what I'm saying? He ain't got no other choice now but to, get smarter, because if you ask me, if you ask anybody pretty much out here right at this second, this man is dumb as a bag of rocks for shooting his brother. This man wasn't thinking clear, so this tells me that he truly needs some time. to think about what he did and to think about what he needs to do in life. That's just how you got to think about it. You know, I didn't feel bad that he was going to jail. I didn't feel bad, you know, that he got to do 23 years or none of that. I felt good, and I seen that he have to learn. And that's just what I be telling my little baby brother. You know, sometimes, you know, they just gotta learn. You know, even if you got like your son or your daughter and they treating you wrong, you know, they ain't answering the phone for you or something like that. They don't want to talk to you. You the parent and stuff like that. Don't sweat it. Fall back, let them learn. One day it's gonna come to their head and they gonna realize what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? Now, understand what I'm saying. You got to understand what I'm saying. That's the whole truth, and that's nothing but the truth. If you don't understand, I'm sorry. You gotta pick up a book, Google. You gotta start doing some type of research or work or something so you can understand. Understanding, listen here. Understanding me by me knowing how to understand a lot of things have got me a long, very long way. You know, they say a lot of people like wisdom. They say wisdom, you gotta have wisdom. Wisdom will take you a long way too. But I like the understanding. You know, the understanding took me a long way because I believe, you know, you do gotta have wisdom to have understanding. But I believe you can have wisdom, but if you don't have understanding, then your wisdom ain't gonna really even be worth nothing because you don't understand nothing. You don't understand this, that, and other. You don't understand how that go. You know, you know it's supposed to be like that, but you don't understand it. You see what I'm saying? Man, if y'all gotta rewind this video back, rewind it of me talking, you know what I mean? Because I believe I really just dropped some jewels on here. A lot of people, y'all don't want to listen. Sometimes, you know, if this video might be too long for y'all, I might be boring. I understand. Y'all might want to go play some music and, you know, all of that kind of stuff and be so much of the world. Trust me, I understand. People. Okay? So I hope y'all have a good holiday and things like that, even though I don't celebrate holidays no more, because I understand that these is man-made holidays, these is pagan holidays, so I stopped doing it. I stopped celebrating them because, you know, the Holy Ghost has spoke to me and it showed me that these is not real holidays. Listen to me. Don't no god doggone reindeers fly in the sky and Santa Claus and drop Santa Claus off on your rooftop and Santa Claus fall his fat self down the chimney. That's make believe, man. Come on now. Let's be real. Now, I'm finna show y'all this video, and before I get up out of here, I might not see y'all again. Can y'all please make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button, bang on the bell for me, and subscribe to the channel. And y'all already know what time it is. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all when I see you. It's deuces, baby. Let's go. Check the video. Wow.
Grab the shooter, or if I should grab the baby, or if I should grab Tamir. But I was willing to die.
A mother willing to give up her own life to save her son. A family torn apart. Two brothers get into a fight. Suddenly one pulls a gun and kills the other. Noel Williams sat down with the family as they try to put into words exactly what they're going through.
The tears just won't stop.
I'm never gonna be the same without him.
A mother grieving the loss of her son, a son she watched take his last breath. Tymir Dial shot and killed outside his mom's house on East 127th Street. What's worse, Pinky Hale says it was another son that pulled the trigger. She says she was moving into her new home. Tymir, along with her 19-year-old son, were there to help. As she was holding her young granddaughter in her arms, she says the brothers started arguing.
They was having a disagreement, not loud or fighting or nothing. And his brother shot him. In my mind, I thought, would he shoot the baby? Would he shoot me?
I spoke to Cleveland police about the shooting, but they would only say it was an ongoing investigation. As Hale tries to piece together what happened, she relives that moment on a daily basis.
And he begged him to stop. He begged him over and over again, and he just stood over him and shot him some more.
Tymir's family tells me the 23-year-old was a true family man to his parents, siblings, and beautiful 1-year-old daughter.
Man, like, you know, the show Raymond, everybody loved Raymond. That's him. Everybody loved him.
But yet it's the other brother that's getting put into prison. And there he is, Rodney Curley Jr. Again, he has pleaded guilty in the death of his own brother, Tymir Hale Dial. This happened back in October of 2023 on East 127th Street in Cleveland. It looks like we are close to underway, so let's take you live into court.
686-979 for the court today for sentencing. The state is present, the defense is present. The court did receive a recommendation of sentence that was signed off by the victim representative as well as the defendant, with a range of 18 to 25 years, no early release, meaning no judicial release. I'm prepared to pass sentence. Is there anything from the state?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the victim, Tymir, that is T-Y-M-E-I-R, his...
Again, a very unique situation here. You have a mother of both individuals in the case, the individual who was shot and killed and the young man who's about to be sentenced.
My name is Pinky Hale. P-I-N-K-I-E-H-A-L-E. I just want to make it brief. I just really want to say.
It's okay. Take a deep breath.
Okay, breathe.
Take all the time you need.
I just really want to say that I love Rodney so much. I love him so much. And I hate that all this is happening. And I love Tymir so much. And I miss them both so much. And it's just a terrible, I don't even know what to say. It's terrible. But that day was the worst day of my life. Because I knew that day I was losing both of my sons. I just can't live like this. And I know he did what he did, and he ruined my life. And he took Tymir's life, and he ruined his own life. He's so young. And I just want to let him know that I love him. No matter what, I love him. And I miss him every day. I miss Tymir every day. But that's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the victim in this case is the defendant, Rodney Curley's brother. In meeting with Ms. Hale throughout this case and in speaking with her, it's the state of Ohio's understanding that they were moving. Ms. Hale had acquired a new house, and that she had actually been with Rodney for most of the day, moving their furniture, their belongings, in a U-Haul. She says Tymir was actually at work and came to the house to help aid them in the moving process. She says they fought like normal brothers do, and on this day, she said she was in the house. Mr. Curley and Tymir, the victim, are in the U-Haul, which was actually parked in the driveway in front of the house. You can see it in the crime scene photos. And that they were just arguing back and forth about where to put things in the house, where things should go. They come into the house, the argument continues. She doesn't think much of it because she said they're brothers. They always used to argue about little things, and she didn't think much of it. She said she was in the kitchen with Tymir's 1-year-old child. He had a 1-year-old child at the time. And she says they go back out into the U-Haul. She hears from the window that the argument continues, so she actually steps outside to go intervene because they're just arguing, and she said we were new in the neighborhood and we hadn't even been there a day and they're doing their brother stuff. She indicates to me that Tymir made a statement to his brother, Mr. Curley, you're not anything without your gun. And Rodney's response was, I don't fight, I kill. I shoot to kill. And ends up raising the gun and shooting his brother in the shoulder while she, Ms. Hale, Tymir, and Rodney are in the back of the U-Haul vehicle. Ms. Hale indicates to me that Tymir jumps down, is laying on his back, and basically says, all right, knock it off, and Mr. Curley continues to shoot his brother. She said he shot a couple of times in the front, and Tymir turns over to try to get away, and she says, her exact explanation to me was Rodney unloaded his clip on his brother. She indicated to me the gun was pointed at her. That is why we have the count of felonious assault from Ms. Hale. And at that point, it's almost like Rodney realized what had happened and runs away. Tymir is eventually shot 16 times. He has 16 gunshot wounds that Yami counted. And he is dead when the police arrive. Ms. Hale, throughout this process, has always been very respectful, very forthright about what happened, very willing to come in and testify. But she also always indicated to the state of Ohio she didn't want Rodney to lose his life in the way that Tymir did. You know, that life was a tough sentence for her and her family, but that anything lower than 18 to 20 was going to be a slap on the wrist, that Tymir's life would have meant nothing then. When I asked Ms. Hale what Tymir was like, she said he was a ray of light, a breath of fresh air. She said he was always willing to help family members, he was always there. He had a job as a security guard at a local school, and that the school actually shut down for the kids to mourn him when his death occurred. She said he was a good father. She said even though him and Rodney had their squabbles, she thought he was a good brother, and that Rodney and Tymir were night and day. You know, she knew Rodney had problems kind of running in the street, getting into trouble, getting, you know, into the bad crowds, but you know, she always had indicated to me her love for Rodney, but that he took something away from her family that can never be replaced in her son Tymir. And now, like she has addressed to you, both of her sons have lost their life. So the state of Ohio felt that the range was appropriate given Ms. Hale's feelings and the family's feelings and what happened. We don't want it to diminish Tymir's life, but she was always adamant if we don't have to go through everything and replay everything with the trial, she would be okay with these ranges. So that is how we got this case. That is the facts of what happened. And so we ask you to sentence within that range. When I speak with Ms. Hale, there's not a specific number that she gave me. She says no amount of time can be put on 10 years' life. But she also realizes that Rodney's going to have to do that time, no early release. So she felt whatever the court felt was appropriate given the facts of this case. So given that, we don't have a specific number other than within that range. I do know initially Ms. Hale had felt 20, anything less than 20 was maybe diminishing the offense. However, she realizes, you know, Rodney trying to minimize his exposure as best as possible. So given that, we would defer to the court within that range of 18 to 25 years. We ask for 5 to cause.
Okay, who wants to speak for the defense? Mr. McDonald.
Your Honor, may it please the court. First of all, I'd like to thank Ms. Hale for her consideration in this case. When I first met Rodney, he realized what happened, realized that he had to take responsibility for this from day one. I'd like to point out that my client has one misdemeanor, and that's it. He's been with Jim and I, he's been very respectful, honest, and has expressed remorse, and knows that he did what was wrong. Within 2 minutes, a family's life has just changed forever, and it's just sad. And I guess I would, Ms. Hale, when she said she loves her son, I think that's awesome. And so I think that would, with that a sentence at the lower end would be appropriate. And then I think, and I talked about 2 minutes, that it just changed. I think what Ms. Vaca said sort of summarizes this case. All of a sudden, Rodney realized what he did. I don't think he really, obviously he knew what he was doing, but I think he just snapped and there was a violent outburst, as we pointed out in the sentencing memorandum. So I'd ask you to take what I said, what we put in the sentencing memorandum, and then listening to my client and fashioning an appropriate sentence. Thank you.
Mr. Curley, do you want to speak? You don't have to if you don't want to. Can you keep your voice up?
Can I turn to them?
Sure.
I want to tell you that I love y'all so much, and I'm sorry. And I hope one day I take it back and we do it the whole day. I promise I love y'all so much, and I don't do anything in the world to take it all back.
You can be seated. So, Mr. Curley, it's such a disturbing case, and there's so many moments that you could have made different decisions, from walking away from an argument to not pulling out a gun to even stopping at one bullet. Why did you keep shooting? If you don't know, you can tell me you don't know. I'm just curious, do you know why you did?
I really just blacked out.
Judge, he said he blacked out.
When did you realize that you'd killed your brother? The next day? You didn't realize that he was likely dead when you ran? Well, I have received this recommended sentence. You know that if I accept this recommended sentence, whatever sentence I impose, will not only subject you to Reagan Tokes, but will prevent any judicial release in the future. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Count 7, which is the misdemeanor of the first degree, you're sentenced to 120 days in county jail with 120 days served. That sentence is completed. On count 3, the felony of the first degree, the base of the sentence is 10 years with a 3-year gun specification, which is to be served prior to and consecutive to any other term imposed. Reagan Tokes does apply to this count, 5.5 years. PRC is mandatory minimum of 2 to 5 years on that count. On count 4, which is the base merges with count 3, so I'm not sentencing on the base. However, I am sentencing on the gun specification, which is 3 years to be served consecutive to the sentence imposed in count 3. Count 6, a felony of the second degree, the base of the sentence is 4 years plus the 3-year gun specification. That gun specification also be served prior to and consecutive to the base and consecutive to the sentences imposed in counts 4 and 3. This is a total sentence of 23 years. Post-release control is applicable on counts 4 and 6 for a mandatory minimum of 18 months to 3 years. As I stated, Reagan Tokes, I'm sorry, it's 5 years, not 5.5, is applicable on count 3. And as I explained to you at the time of your plea, that enhancement of the sentence is entirely within the discretion of the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. You understand that, right? If you violate the conditions of post-release control, the parole board must impose an additional prison term for up to 1/2 of any prison term that I've imposed. So your Definite sentence is 23 years. With the indefinite portion of Reagan-Tokes, it is 28 years. Fines, fees, and costs are waived. Any questions from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Any questions from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Curley, do you have any questions? Mr. Jenkins?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Dan DeRose with 19 News. Just a terrible sentencing to watch as you see Mr. Curley being taken away, Curley Jr. Taken away to prison for 23 years. Rodney Curley Jr. No chance of parole. You heard his own mother get up there. What a terrible position she is in, saying,
If we can find Fernando, maybe we can get done early.
Saying she loves both her son that was about to go to prison and loves her son that was taken away that day back in October of 2023. We're talking about Tamir Hale Dial. She was in a terrible position.
You know me, I'm rockin', man, I gotta keep my shit in order. Tryna cop that house, man, the one to sit up on the water. You know me, I'm rockin', man, I gotta keep my shit in order. Tryna cop that house, man, the one to sit up on the water. You know how I'm rockin', man, I gotta keep my shit in order. Tryna cop that house.